It's important that we look at the Colonial Pact and what Traore is actually trying to fight against. In the 19th century, you had the French trading along the West African coast via treaties and with African leaders. Fast forward to the 20th century, you have the French molding colonies within West Africa. But not only that, they had colonies all over the Caribbeans, but I'm focusing on the African colonies. They had created colonies in Ivory Coast, Burkina Faso, Guinea, upper parts of Togo, Benin, Niger, Mali, Chad, Gabon, Central African Republic. After World War II, there was a massive push to kind of end colonialism. You had the UN, you had some international organizations, you had nationalist leaders like Kwame Nkrumah, the Americans, Soviet Union, USSR. They were pushing for the end of colonialism for obviously their benefits or political agendas. So long story short, France have to let go of these countries. But before they let go of these countries, they create a contract from hell. It's called the Franco-African Agreement, aka the Colonial Pact. And this document favored France more than it favored the colonies. Economically, the Colonial Pact does nothing for the other nations. You know, they have to use a CFA currency, which is called the franc for French colonies, which is a part of the French franc. These colonies that are in West Africa have to keep over 60% of their reserves within the French treasury. All the money that they make, they have to keep part of it in the French treasury. So the French can basically monitor how much money their colonies are making. They also have to have exclusive trade deals with France. When it comes to their minerals, it comes to their resources, these colonies have to trade it first with France. And before they can develop any sort of trading relationships with anyone outside of France, they have to communicate with France, and France have to give the go-ahead. The 14 colonies that are in western part of Africa serve as a marketplace for French companies. So all these French companies that create French products have a marketplace in these Western African colonies or former French colonies in Africa, so they can place their products there at will. Economically, this doesn't make sense. So when you see Traore breaking away from this and saying he's not putting his gold in the French reserves no more, this is what he's fighting against. And I think ultimately it's like having a house. If I have my house and I've bought my house from the landlord, it's my house now. Why does a landlord still have power over what I do within my home? And I think it's the same thing with France and Burkina Faso. It's Traore breaking away from the control. That's the economic problem with the Colonial Pact.